A very good morning to all my dear students. We have already started Unit 2, wherein we are dealing with the first part of Unit 2. Students, when I'm speaking about the first part of Unit 2, we have started with understanding what is the meaning of fundamental rights, what is the nature of fundamental rights, and we have also dealt with different fundamental rights right from Article 14 to 20. Students, these rights have been conferred by the Indian Constitution to each and every citizen of the country. And in my previous class, I had completed Article 20. Let's start understanding what is Article 21. Students, Article 21 is one of the most important article and a citizen should know and should understand. When I speak about Article 21, it states that there should be protection of life and personal liberty. Students, when I speak about Article 21, it clearly states that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to the procedure established by law. Now, a very interesting thing about this article is, students, the constitutional framers has guaranteed this right in Article 21, and this right is guaranteed by the constitutional framers to all the citizens of the country. And very important thing, it is also available to the non-citizens. When I speak about Article 21, it clearly states that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to the procedure which is established by law. Now, first, let us understand what is the meaning of personal liberty. Students, when I'm speaking about personal liberty, it means that liberty means freedom, liberty of a person, of a physical body, you can say. When I speak about personal liberty, it states that a citizen will get freedom from arrest, a citizen will get freedom from detention. Now, detention in what way? Detention from false imprisonment. If it is true, you have to be detained. But when there is detention from false imprisonment, you can safeguard this right and you can confer this right under Article 21. When I speak about personal liberty, it states that a person can get liberty from wrongful confinement also. You cannot confine any person on wrongful basis or on wrongful grounds. So what has happened is, when this article was being framed, the constitutional framers thought that every citizen should have a right to live, and very importantly, there should be personal liberty attached with it. Now, what happened is, when different cases came in front of the Supreme Court or approached the Supreme Court of our country extended the scope of Article 21. It said that no doubt that no person shall be deprived of his personal or his life, personal liberty or of his life, but there should be various rights which should be included within the sphere of Article 21. And this were given according to the various decisions which came before the Supreme Court, or before, or you can say about, or rather regarding the cases which approached the Supreme Court. So, the Supreme Court of our country decided that the scope of Article 21 should be widened, or you can say it should be extended. No doubt, protection of personal life and personal liberty is conferred to every citizen. But the scope of protection of personal life and personal liberty should be extended. So, what happened is the Supreme Court of India included various rights under this provision of Article 21. I can give an example of few. See, as a citizen of a country, when you have a protection of life and personal liberty, on the grounds of personal liberty, you have a right to travel abroad. This was included under Article 21. Then you have a right to livelihood. You have a right to shelter. As a citizen, you have a right of privacy. Nobody can interfere in the right of your privacy. Very importantly, a right to education which was recently being added. When I speak about right to education, the constitution has conferred a right to education to each and every citizen of the country up to a certain age. And this right is conferred to both males and females, rather, you can say citizens of the country. Then, when I'm speaking about Article 21, the Supreme Court also included the right to health and get medical assistance or help from the state or the country. Then, right against delayed execution, that is, death sentence, you can say. Then, as a citizen of the country, when I speak about personal liberty, students, you can say that the Supreme Court also included the right against illegal arrest. Legal arrest, true, but right as a citizen of a country, you have a right against illegal arrest. There were such different rights which were included in the sphere of Article 21. So, students, when I speak about Article 21, you should understand that this is a liberty, this is a freedom which is conferred by the constitutional framers to each and every citizen of the country, wherein they safeguard and protect a life of an individual. At the same time, they provide personal liberty. So, when I speak about personal liberty, students, I explained y'all in my initial stage of class, wherein personal liberty means liberty, you can say, about a physical body. You can say liberty in terms of freedom from arrest, detention from false imprisonment. It is very important. The country, the constitution has a right to detain. But when a person is said to commit an offense and he is proved that he is committed or he has committed offense, but if you are under detention, under or from false imprisonment, you can state this article under constitution which states that there is a protection of life and personal liberty which is given to each and every citizen. When I speak about personal liberty, I also told you there you have a right against wrongful confinement. If it is truthful, it is proved confinement, okay. But if it is wrongful confinement, you can safeguard your right under Article 21. So, this Article 21 is very, very important because this right is being conferred by the constitutional framers to each and every citizen of our country, and very importantly, it is also given or available to the non citizens of the country. Okay, now let's move to the next article. Students, Article 22. Article 22 speaks about safeguards or safeguarding against arrest and detention. So, before understanding what is arrest, what is detention, I'll just give you some understanding regarding why this article has been included in the Constitution. Now, you can say that, see, when a person, okay, commits any offense, what happens is when a person commits a offense, he is arrested, right? Now, however, what happens is whether he is guilty of that offense or he is innocent, this has to be decided by the court of law. So, there are cases, students, in which it might so happen that the police may torture the person and make him accept that he has committed a crime. You must have seen this in TVs, etc. Okay, in some movies, wherein what happens is the police tortures the person and makes him to tell or accept the crime committed. Now, what happens is when a person is arrested, he is not yet proved from the court of law that whether he has committed that offense or he has not committed that offense. In law or in legal terms, you say that whether the person is being regarded as a guilty of offense or he is said to be innocent. So that has not been proved. It will be proved by the court of law. So what happens is I can give you a famous quote, okay, wherein it is said that students, let 100 criminals go away, but one innocent person should not be punished, because it is said that if and one innocent person is being punished for a wrongful reason, then it so happens that our constitution states that the justice cries. So, unless and until a person is proved, he cannot be called as person who has committed the offense or a person guilty of offense. All the citizens of the country are being regarded as innocents. Once the crime is being proved, then you can state that he is guilty of that offense, or if the crime is not proved from the court of law, he can be treated as an innocent person. So what happened is our constitution ensures that every accused or the person accused of various offenses should get sufficient protection. Now, it is yet to be proved that whether he is guilty of offense or whether he is innocent. So, till that point of time, the constitutional framer says that a person should get sufficient protection, and this right is being conferred under Article 22. This article states that a person accused of crime should get an adequate opportunity to defend herself or himself. See, when a person is being arrested, a person should get sufficient protection, wherein a person should be given a chance to be heard. You cannot just arrest a person and give punishment to that person. No, this is not allowed in our country. The constitutional framers says that it is a fundamental right to safeguard each and every person, whether he is under arrest or he is under detention. So, what happens here is when I speak about Article 22, there are two subdivisions here, wherein this article tries to safeguard each and every citizen, whether he is proved guilty or he is innocent. Now, when the person is being arrested, it is not decided by the court whether he is proved guilty or he is guilty of an offense or he is innocent. So, at that point of time or that period, the Constitution safeguards every citizen against arrest and detention. And this provision was given under Article 22. Now, what it says that? It says that there is a right of the arrested persons under ordinary laws. Now, in short, what it tells is when I speak about Article 22 students, it guarantees several rights to a person who is arrested. Now, he is not yet proved. I'm repeating it again and again. The police have just arrested the person on several grounds, maybe. It is not been proved by the court of law on what grounds or why has he been arrested. At that point of time, the constitutional framers have protected or safeguarded each and every citizen of the country who is under arrest. Now, what rights a person can get or confer? See, when I speak about rights of an arrested person, see, you must have come across already. When a person is arrested, he has a right to be informed on what grounds he is being arrested, what offense he has committed, so he is being arrested. It is a right of a person. When the police comes and arrests the person can ask on what grounds he is being arrested. Secondly, once the person has been arrested, he has every right to be defended by a lawyer. And very importantly, very interestingly, students, when he has a right to defend himself by a lawyer, he can choose his lawyer according to his own choice. The court will not enforce that, okay, she is Mr. X or she is Miss X or Mr. X, and this is a lawyer or he or she is a lawyer wherein compulsorily you have to choose this lawyer itself. No. The person has every right to choose his or her lawyer according to his own desire, according to his own will, and according to his own choice. So, when I speak about rights of an arrested person, I told you when a person is being arrested, he has every right to be informed or he can ask on what grounds he has been arrested. Secondly, Very importantly, I told you, he has a right to defend himself or herself. He can choose a lawyer according to his own wish and will. Then, when it is a criminal offense, students, it is a right of a person to be produced before the magistrate. And, students, very importantly, you should understand that once a person is being arrested, he has to be produced in front of the magistrate within 24 hours. So, no detention, or you cannot detain a person beyond 24 hours except only when the order is given by the magistrate. And very importantly, you should understand that this is a right which is conferred by the constitution to the citizens of the country as well as non-citizens. So when I speak about rights of arrested person, students, every citizen has a right to be informed on what grounds he's been arrested. Once he comes to know that on this such grounds he's been arrested, he can choose a lawyer of his own according to his own wish and will. He can choose a lawyer to defend his case. It is the duty of the authorities to produce the arrested person before the magistrate. And very importantly, there is time limit that he should be produced within a period of 24 hours. Next, when I speak about preventive detention laws. See, students, what happens is, again, when I speak about preventive detention laws, I'll just explain you all in a simple or a easy terms. Now, what happens is, ordinarily, a person would be arrested when only when he or she has been reported that he has committed some sort of offense. Now, however, what happens is, once the person is being arrested only when there are stated information regarding that he or she has committed maybe a murder, or he or she has kidnapped somebody, involved in some rape cases. I'm speaking about all criminal cases. Once there is information which is reported, the person is being arrested. He is arrested on some particular grounds. Now, what happens is, there is an important right which is called as preventive detention laws. Now, here what happens? There are some exceptions to this. Now, it might so happen, students, that sometimes a person can be arrested simply out of an apprehension that he or she is likely to be engaged in that unlawful activity, and accordingly that person is imprisoned for some time without the procedure which has to be performed. See, I told you, when a person is being arrested, he is not yet proved whether he is guilty of that offense, or he has committed that offense, or he is innocent. At that point of time, any person, whether he is guilty or whether he is innocent, at that point of time when he's arrested, there is no proving, or it is not proved yet. So what happens is, due to some information reported, the police arrests that particular person. At that point of time, what happens is, sometimes it so happens in some case that a person is arrested simply on the basis that he would be likely to be engaged in that activity, that which is unlawful, which is not legal, and hence what happens, he is arrested. Now once he is arrested, I told you there are different rights which are conferred to the arrested person. I won't repeat. See, rights of arrested person means I told you that he has a right to be informed. He has a right to choose his lawyer on his own. He has he has to be produced before the magistrate, etc. So within that specific period, or the police has not performed the mentioned procedure, this is said to be preventive detention. So what happens that means it so happens in such cases that the government feels that a person can be threat to law, and in order to the peace and security of the nation, it is always better to detain a person or arrest a person. So at that point of time, the preventive detention can be extended for 3 months, and after a period of 3 months, compulsorily, the person has to be brought in the court of law or has to approach a advisory committee and take such advice on that particular matter. See, when I'm speaking about this preventive detention, students, preventive is what? To take preventions, to take proper protections against or regarding the detentions of a person. Now, when I'm speaking about preventive detention, students, it is very much necessary because if a person is being reported that he is said to be involved in some unlawful activity which will threaten the peace, the order, the security, the integrity, the unity of the nation, the constitutional framers think that it is always better to detain that person or arrest that person. See, when I speak about this preventive detention, the objective of this preventive detention is not to punish a man. The objective of this preventive detention, students, is that when I speak about such objective, it says that it is not to punish any person, but stopping or preventing him before he does something, or preventing him from doing something. See, when a person is being arrested, he is not yet proved. He may be guilty of that particular offense or he may be innocent. But if there is some information regarding Mr. X that he is involved in some illegal activity and there is some sort of evidence attached to it, the constitutional framers say that it is always better and preventive to detain that person. But when you're detaining that person or arresting that person, the person has every right to get informed or defend by a lawyer, a right to be produced before the magistrate, etc. So, what happens is when I speak about this preventive detention, students, the objective is never to punish any person, but as a precaution, the government takes several protection or precautions wherein they feel that it is always better to detain or arrest a person who will disturb the peace, order, integrity, unity of the nation. See, when I speak about this kind of arrest, still there is no offense which is proved, or there is no charge or blame which is being proved. So the government of a country thinks that it is always better to prevent any person from committing an offense which would cause maybe harm to the society or which may endanger the security of the government. So when I speak about this Article 22, students, it is considered to be a very beautiful article wherein it gives protection to all the citizens, even the citizens which are being arrested. So when I speak about Article 22, students, I told you that there are citizens of a country who are being proved or who are being arrested and in the process of being proved. At that point of time, the constitution of a country even safeguards those citizens by incorporating or including this article, which gives a right to every citizen of the country, even the rights to the arrested person, and it also includes a provision regarding the preventive detention laws. Okay, next, when I speak about Article 23, students, Article 23 speaks about exploitation. It helps us to understand what are the rights conferred by the citizens of the country against exploitation. When I speak about this article, students, in our country, there are millions and millions of people who are said to be underprivileged or who are said to be deprived. What do you mean by underprivileged or what do you mean by deprived? When I speak about underprivileged or deprived, students, there are many people in our country or human beings which are subjected to exploitation. And these are subjected to exploitation by their fellow beings. Or you can say that there is one more type of exploitation in our country, which is about a beggar, or you can say something called as forced labor, wherein the laborers or the employees are being asked to do work. The human beings or laborers do work, and there is no payment given to these employees or laborers. See, I can give you one more example where there is exploitation of human beings. You must have heard a very narrow concept which speaks about buying and selling of human beings. And when I speak about buying and selling of human beings, students, these human beings are being purchased, they are being sold, and they are used as slaves to do the work. So, what happens is the constitution of a country prohibits this exploitation which happens in our country. Now, when I speak about forced laborers, students, see, there are laborers which are employed or imposed by landlords, or you can say maybe money lenders or wealthy persons. And what happens is these forced laborers, wherein they are being exploited, okay, wherein people are being employed and they are not being given payment, this is considered to be unconstitutional. And very importantly, a person involving in forced labor, employing forced labor, and not giving payment for the work done. or the work employed, being employed. It is very important, students, when you are employing any sort of labor, maybe skilled labor, maybe unskilled labor, you have to make a payment for the work being done or getting work done from the people. And if you do not pay the employees, the citizens of a country have every right to go and approach the court of law and say that there is a right, or they can say that they have been exploited. They have every right against exploitation. Next, when I speak about prohibition of traffic in human beings and forced labor, I explained you that forced labor means what? You are being employed and you are not being paid for the work you have done. Now, when I speak about traffic in human beings, students, it means that there is buying and selling of men and women for an immoral purpose or illegal purpose. See, sometimes you are purchased, a human being is being purchased like a commodity. It is being sold as a commodity. And when the human beings are sold or purchased, they are sold for a specific reason or purchased for a specific reason, especially wherein they purchase human beings to act like a slaves, or a selling of human beings can be considered for a living of their earning, such as you must be knowing about prostitutes, Devdasi system which was prevailing in our country. These are considered to be examples of trafficking, students. When I speak about trafficking in human beings, there is sale, purchase of human beings to conduct immoral and illegal and unlawful activities. Whether these human beings are being sold and being purchased for maybe acting as slaves or for committing offenses which are considered to be illegal. I've given you example of prostitutes and devdasis. So when I speak about beggars, students, here what happens is beggars, they perform work which is involuntary, not according to their own wish and will. And when they perform work, they are not being provided sufficient payment, or they are not being given payment only. It means that when you're forcing any person to work against his wish and will, at that point of time, it is very important that you make a proper employment and a proper terms and conditions regarding your payments. And any person who has employed a labor or forced labor and has not given proper payment, he can approach the court of law and confer this right which speaks about exploitation. So here the first part speaks about two things. One is trafficking in human beings. When I speak about trafficking, this is a legal terminology. Trafficking in human beings means buying and selling of human beings, same as that of a commodity for a price. Forced labor means you are being asked to do work and you are not being paid for that particular work. Next, the next part of the article speaks about prohibition of employment of children below 14 years. Students, the children in our country are being prohibited, are being stopped below the age of 14 years. Now they have been prohibited in the factory, they have been prohibited in mines, and they have been prohibited in various hazardous employment. So this is a protection which is given wherein they safeguard the children of our country. Next article speaks about article in detail regarding the right to freedom of religion. This article starts from article 25 to 28. Very, very easy to understand and very simple in nature. Now, when I speak about the first article, which speaks about freedom of religion in our country, India. Students, when I speak about freedom of religion, this can be regarded as a very important right which is given or conferred to every citizen. See, when I speak about freedom of religion, students, what is religion? Religion is a path wherein you attain supreme reality. Now, what happened is earlier there were some rulers or there were some emperors, okay, which were residing in the different parts of the country and who followed a specific religion. And in that territory or empire, if there were persons who were following different religions, they were either prosecuted or they were forced to convert to that official religion which the emperor or the ruler was following. So, the government of our country thought that it is very important to indulge or enforce the freedom of religion in our country. So, when I was teaching you all the first unit, I spoke about the preamble of the Constitution, which states that India is being regarded as a secular state. When I was explaining you all the meaning of secular, students, what happens is when I speak about secularism, it means that our country will not have one specific religion. All the religions are treated equally in the eyes of law. There is no a special sponsored religion in our country. Freedom of religion implies that each and every citizen is free to believe or practice any religion he likes or according to his choice. Now, when I speak about freedom of religions in our country, students, Article 25 clearly guarantees to every citizen that there should be freedom of religion or freedom of concise and a right to profess, practice and propagate any sort of religion. In simple words, when I speak about freedom, it means that in our country, India, every little citizen or every citizen is free to choose any religion and practice that particular religion. Freedom of religion includes a person may have a right to choose any religion he likes on his own, to follow any religion. Now, when I speak about profess any religion, it means that a person can clearly declare, students, that he has open faith in a particular religion. When I speak about practicing any religion, means he has a freedom to perform any religious duties. He can practice any religious beliefs, or you can say he can practice any religious rituals. Now, when I speak about propagate a particular religion, students, you can say that a person has a right to spread his religious beliefs and to educate others. Now, our constitution of country does not allow for forceful conversion of religion. You can choose your religion on your own, you can practice that, and nobody can stop you from doing so. Earlier, there were practices wherein there was forced conversion, but the government of our country has taken different practices wherein they have banned these practices, and a right has been conferred to the citizens of a country wherein they have a right to practice any religion according to their own wish and will. From Article 26, I will continue in my next classes. Thank you. Have a good day. Please don't leave the meeting.